Welcome to Agastya International Foundation's campus in rural Chittoor district in Andhra Pradesh on the border of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. One of Agastya's core aims is to stimulate, educate and inspire children, teachers and the public at large about the need to act responsibly towards the environment. At Agastya, we believe that one of the most creative acts that a human being can perform is to live in harmony with nature. This piece of land, which was an arid piece of earth 4 years ago when we started, is being transformed into what might one day become an ecological wonder. The chief architect of this transformation is the famous ecologist, Dr. Yellappa Reddy. Let's listen to Dr. Yellappa Reddy. As he speaks to Mr. Chandramouli, it is an inspiring story, one from which I'm sure we can all learn a great deal.
Dr. Reddy, I was here 3 years ago. At that time, the entire stretch of this land was very barren. But today I am here and I am surprised looking at the greenery here. I am sure you must have been behind this. And what was the vision you had and how did you transform this entire stretch of land into such a green piece today?
See, last 2 years, this entire zone experienced a severe drought. When I came 3 years back, then I looked at the entire landscape here. It is a Eastern Ghats segment, and Eastern Ghats of India is exposed for very severe biotic interference of hacking, grazing, cutting, destruction, and this area supporting very rich forest, though it is a scrub forest or a moist deciduous forest, about say 2-3 years, about 2 centuries back. But gradually the human interference, man started entering and cutting and grazing, browsing, setting fire. All these things, started affecting, and the topsoil have been washed off. Whatever we look at the other side of
the other stretch I find is very barren.
Because we have lost more than about 2 to 3 feet depth of very fertile soil.
Okay.
In a country like India, we are losing around 6,000 million tons of topsoil. So nature takes around 500 years to synthesize 1 centimeter of a soil. 600 years.
600 years.
So efforts of 600 years to synthesize a fertile soil of 1 centimeter, within no time we will destroy. So this area also, when I visited, I thought it is a challenge for me to restore, revive and regenerate this degraded land. Then I went round and saw the entire thing and analyzed very carefully. Identified the nature of stresses the area has been exposed for. Then I interacted with the local people. What was the ecological status of this land about 3-4 decades back? So when I inquired and I explored, then they told me, sir, this area was quite a moderate forest, scrub forest and a dry deciduous forest. It was providing all kinds of resources, including medicinal plants, and also there was a perennial stream here, and there was no scarcity of drinking water for our cattle. But now the water is gone, everything is gone, and the area has become barren. Then I probed into the reasons for that. Then they told me, sir, this Kolar gold mine activity came here. Then the demand for the fuel wood and other things started. Then people started hacking and supplying the wood, etc., to the urban area, urban centers, charcoal, then milk and overgrazing, and within a span of about 2-3 decades, whole area has become completely barren and de-skinned. ಇದನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸೋಣ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ.
Ah.
ಇದನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸಿ ಇದು ಹೇಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಹೌ ದಿ ಮದರ್ ಅರ್ತ್ supports the material. This is the world's best material for your skin care. Yeah. See children, this is a ant hill. You can sit and just watch here. Then one ant will come out as just a watchman. He will be looking around, see this fellow, and then communicating between the queen and the gallery. There is a gallery inside, communicating for all others outside, watching here and there. Then who has built this nest?
The ants.
For us to construct a house, we take help of an architect, we take the help of an engineer, we take the help of a mason, we will take everybody's help. So now all of them have built an excellent house. And then also a garden. They have built a garden. Why do they build a garden?
So they can
To store their food material during pinch season. What they call?
Drought.
Pinch season. When there is no
Lack of
food,
food,
when there is during the off season, they will store the food material. They will culture the fungal garden and store the food material.
Excuse me, uncle. What is actually a pink season?
Pinch season means that is a acute shortage of the food material, acute shortage of the water, acute shortage of everything. So to get over that period, they will have a plan well in advance.
So anytime it can happen.
Yes, anytime means during the summer months. During the summer months, there will not be enough food material. So during that pinch season, they will have to guarantee adequate food material for their children and their families to survive. And here the beauty is, they will store enough water. They have prepared an excellent gallery. A gallery, if you dig out, you can see a big gallery, and it facilitates the rainwater to seep into their garden. So they don't have any, they cannot just open the tap to get water.
How do they save moisture in this?
Yes. So they will, what they do, they will mix up, now you can see this one, they will mix up enough organic material, make the soil more friable, and water holding capacity of the soil will increase to 8 folds. Normal soil will have a capacity to store only 1 liter of water. But whereas the soil which they will convert into a media, that media can hold more than 4 to 5 times its body weight.
Won't it get destroyed by wind or?
Which one?
Or by animals.
Yeah.
See, they will trample it.
Yeah.
See, destruction is there in nature. Nothing can survive without this destruction. Then the dominance will take place.
Yeah.
If one species, if there is no destruction, then they will dominate. So nature has always balances itself.
How far can this get spread underneath?
It depends upon each species has got its own its own niche. So they don't clash each other, and they are best organizers. Any crisis, the ants has got the wonderful ability to organize themselves.
And
Any traffic signal or any enemy attack, etc. They are the best friends of the trees. Most of the plant community are cultivating them. They are providing them food. They nurture them by supplying a very most delicious food called ice creams or jalebi, whatever these things, chocolates. Like that, they will have got a Belgian glands. So these glands, they will supply the very rich protein material. So the ants been attracted. Why do they attract?
Because the ants
The
protect
plants,
them.
there are certain parasites will destroy or feed on them. Then these ants will go and feed over them.
So the ants in turn protect the plants.
They maintain their own army.
Okay.
Each plant species will nurture their own army. So the ants will go and feed on the varieties of the parasites, especially thrips and aphids, bugs, like that.
Yeah.
Is this the reason that ant hills are usually found close to plants?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. And how many different types of ants are there in like one colony?
It depends upon the food availability. The queen ant is the most wise creature.
How does
She will know the conditions. She will assess. She will assess everything, and then the propagation is completely controlled by her.
Okay.
She will not indiscriminately produce. If the food is available, if the conditions are very favorable, she will produce more. Then immediately she will stop.
How many different types of ants are there? Sir?
Plenty. In the globe, if you take,
Yeah.
the maximum weight is only from the ants. Everywhere, even in your beautiful house, where you put the cement, this, that, everything, but still ants will be there everywhere. Every ecosystem. The ants are the most flourishing species.
They play a major role.
The adaptability is so vast. So, its social behavior of acceptability, understanding is perfect in ants. And also they have got ability to tackle any type of a crisis, a traffic crisis or enemy crisis. All these things, they are capable of tackling. So,
How do ants stay cool?
stay cool because they will create galleries, hair circulation, moisture. They will make the air condition, the air conditioned room. So they know, and they will create the structures in such a way for air circulation. So children, you can see this one. This is one of the endangered species. This is called Tylophora asthmatica. For asthma disease, this is one of the very important medicinal plant. It is an endangered species. So it grows very naturally. In locally they call goat's own touch because of its chemical properties. Tylophora asthmatica, the name itself clearly indicates it cures asthma. Very serious type of asthmas. So this has been overexploited. Overexploited because people have collected and not planted. Yeah. So you are asking me a question, why it has not been protected? So that's what we are doing here. That is the intention of this is a gene pool area. All the endangered species we will provide required habitat for them to grow and multiply. So we will go to the other plant, other very important plant. It is called the bilva or eagle marmelos. This is a plant which has been offered to Ganesha, Ishvara, Parvati. The leaf offered. So this leaf contains volatile oil. So that is when we collect it very carefully, gently, when we offer to the god, we will gently press that leaf and it bursts the oil glands. When we inhale that ambient air, it gets into our system. You are enriching the air by offering leaves and flowers. Flowers also contain volatile oils. So in a scientific terminology, they call it aromatherapy. You know what is aromatherapy? Aroma means a perfume, a fragrance. When you inhale that, what happens? You get a good feeling, a good soothing effect. When you eat good food also, you will be happy. Yeah, I am happy. Similarly, when you inhale enriched ambient air, the chemical energy, it passes through your blood system and it gratifies your cells in the brain, cells in the system. Nice.
So it energizes them.
So that is called a chemical energy. A chemical energy gets into your system. Then what happens? You get a
Energy.
that energy gratifies your system. So that is the reason why we use this what you call the sacred plants. It has got a great detoxifying effect.
Where exactly is the fragrance
So you can take a small leaf, crush it and smell it. Very small leaf.
throughout the leaf?
Throughout the leaf. So the leaf, the flower, the fruit, the root, the bark, everything contains chemicals, medicine. So that is the reason why we perform puja in the morning. That is the reason why we take these leaves and these things. The whole day your system will be balanced. Come here. See, there are two plants. One is called the parijata. That one is parijata. Parijata is a flower offered to most favorite flower of Rukmini and Satyabhama and Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna and Satyabhama, you know, there is an episode. An episode between Rukmini and Satyabhama because he offered this flower to Rukmini. Satyabhama has taken a very serious objection and there is a big quarrel between the two ladies. So this flower, it blossoms in the evenings, gives wonderful fragrance. Have you seen this parijata flower any time?
How does it look, sir?
It looks white and orange, deep orange petal. In the evenings it blossoms and fantastic, entire area will be charged with fragrance.
Well, why does it only blossom in the evening?
That's its genetic coding. Only when the sun sets.
Okay.
When there is a small dew, when it falls on the leaf bud.
Yeah.
It is selected evening to avoid clash. Most of the other plants will blossom in the early morning.
Yes,
so most of them will go there. So some of the plants will is evolved to blossom in off time, so that most of them will get attracted during the in the evening.
Yes.
Evening before going to their nest, most of the insects will go and have a evening meal, the nectar meal. So he will provide a meal in the evening when others are not providing.
Do they bloom throughout the year?
Huh?
Do they bloom
Around 200 days in a year, he will give the blossom. And it is a wonderful medicine to cure varieties of fevers. Any antibiotic, if it fails to cure the fever, then this bark of this cures that one. Then this is another very important plant where Narayana and Lakshmi's favorite flowers. This is called Deva Ganagale. Deva means
God.
God. Ganagale means offering. It is called oleander. Oleander or Nerium odorum. So when you pluck the flower gently like this, and when you hold it like this, when you offer to the God, when you hold it, the oil glands here bursts, opens out, and you inhale this. Don't you enjoy this?
mild fragrance?
Very mild, excellent fragrance. See. So this fragrance, immediately you get a feeling.
How big will this?
It will grow up to 6-7 feet tall. Medium-sized tree. So we have introduced some of them here to enrich this environment. When students come here, sit here, they will get this feeling. So there are so many varieties, you can see that. See how many colors. There are number of colors. All these things by seed, by cross-pollination, we can produce new varieties.
In which season does it bloom like?
This one also almost blooms around say around 200 days, except very short spell of time.
Okay. During which period? During specific period?
A specific period, it depends upon the drought and the photoperiodism, etc. If it is in a shade, then it won't. The longer period he will take for blooming. If it is in an open area, it blooms early, and also you will have more number of days in bloom. And if it is very severe drought, also he will cut short his blooming because he cannot supply the food material. Scarcity is there. Ultimately, the food material management will help in enhancing the period of flowering.
There are other plants growing around this plant. Will it affect the growth of the plant?
Not at all. Not at all.
So
On the contrary, it helps. On the contrary, it helps in generating humus and organic material and fertilizing, and also they will supply varieties of chemicals to develop resistance. So he cannot survive by himself. Yeah. He needs the help of so many others. So if there are many other plants here, the insect pests also will feed on others. They don't feed on him only.
Yeah.
If there is a single plant in monoculture, that is the biggest blunder we always commit. When you go in for a single monoculture cultivation, then it affects this thing. So when you have a diversity, the insect pests will also get food from various other creatures. Huh?
So what kind of root system does it have, sir?
It is a shallow root system. It's not very deep. Okay. It is not a big tree.
Okay.
Tall giant trees will go up to 30-40 feet. It is very shallow, 1 meter depth.
Sir, but if there are too many plants growing around this big one, then they won't receive enough sunlight because of the big one.
They will manage. They have got adaptability to get even. So here is a space. This light is enough.
Okay.
This light is enough. They will adopt the system.
Suppose the roots got tangled out.
Root cut entangled. Now nothing is going to happen. Each one will confine to their own profiles. He will not go to the deeper layers. So in the roots also, even if they crisscross, they will not clash for moisture. They will try to settle themselves.
Okay.
How long do these flowers live?
They will live for about 124 hours, or if the sun god is kind enough, if there is cloudy day like this, they will live longer. If there is a bright sun, then by this time most of them would have died.
Which one is it?
Same thing, different varieties, different colors. So in medium, you can come across about 30-40 different varieties of the gorgeous colors like this.
If suppose the one tree is growing here and this is growing here, it won't get squashed.
Definitely, if there is a tall tree with full of shade, then he will suffer. Now children, have you seen this? These settings here?
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. What is it?
It's a pond.
It's a pond.
Lotus pond.
So you can see a berm all around.
Yeah.
The lotus is a very important plant.
Yeah.
Have you seen lotus anywhere in any of the photographs? Lakshmi. Then Lakshmi stands on a lotus
Yeah.
flower. Then lotus grows where?
In the aquatic region.
In the water body.
Shallow.
Yeah. Then in the around Lakshmi, elephant.
Yeah.
Now why they integrated this elephant, lotus, water, Lakshmi?
They're almost like living in the same region.
They're all interdependent on each other.
Yeah.
See, our concept, our culture is very ecocentric. Ecocentric means we are nature worshippers. Our ancestors were able to make out why we have to live with all these plants, water, animals, elephants, etc. They know that. Why means the lotus has got the ability to absorb most toxic substances like cadmium, lead, mercury, and it absorbs and stores in its body. So the lotus has got the capacity and excellent phytofilter. In the water body, if any chemical whatever we discard in the rainwater when it washes and when it gets into the pond, so that chemicals it will absorb.
Which part of the lotus does this?
This is the stem portion. It is a very hollow, lot of holes inside and
cavities.
it cavities inside, because it has to take oxygen from the water. So it oxygenates the water and it takes oxygen from the water again. So if the water is purified, That is a clear indicator. Whenever lotus grow, the water is
Purified.
purified. It is a living body. It purifies the water.
Do
Lotus.
mosquitoes breed in
No, they
such
don't.
areas?
They purifies the water.
Okay. So mosquitoes breed
Mosquitoes want some sort of a dirty material, cesspools.
only. Okay.
And if the water level remains stagnant for a longer period, then only the mosquitoes will breed. So here the lotus absorbs more water and releases more water to the ambient air. Then water level comes down. Then the mosquito breeding is controlled.
And what does the lotus do with the chemicals?
So it stores in its body.
Yeah.
Then we can even recycle the chemicals if you want.
So doesn't it affect the lotus in any manner?
No, it won't.
Okay.
It has got the ability to tolerate that the chemical shock.
Okay.
Or the toxic shocks.
Okay.
So the toxic substances it can withstand. It has got the ability. It has got the pores. It has got the vacuoles. It has got the chemicals to balance. So that is the reason why our ancestors have observed all these things very closely and integrated and given a poster, a divine poster of a Lakshmi with a lotus, with water, with elephant. Elephant means the clouds.
Yeah.
So the cloud formation. So there is an umbilical connection between water body, cloud, evaporation, evapotranspiration rather, and then cloud setting, cloud formation, rainfall. Our ancestors have prepared a biological structure of a Lakshmi means wealth will be generated only when there is a good quality air, good quality water and timely monsoon, etc. Now you can see this one here also again you can see here is a plant. This is called the Nandi Batlu. It is a Karnataka state flower.
Okay. Nandi but.
Nandi Batlu or Ervatomia. The petals of this is very pleasing to the eye. The foliage is also jet green color.
Yes. Sir.
So it is a favorite plant of goddess Saraswati. Again that plant it is called Punnaga or Calophyllum inophilum. It is also very favorite flower of goddess Saraswati. Saraswati means pure, uncontaminated, unpolluted. White flower, white lotus, white swan, everything is white so far as goddess Saraswati is concerned. So you must always keep your brain unpolluted, uncontaminated. So all these things can be in these settings when you come and see the white flowers of the Nandi Batlu, white flowers of Calophyllum, Punnaga, then white lotus, then your mind get a excellent feeling of unwanted materials.
So how many different types of lotuses are there?
There are about nearly 25.
25.
Neela Kamala, Shweta Kamala, Padma Kamala, like that there are different 20-25 Nilambiums and Nymphes.
Sir, when the leaves are clustered together, wouldn't there be any competition for sunlight?
There is. See,
Yeah,
there
overlapping
is wonderful research is going on in the world. Why the leaf will not hold the water? What is the chemical inside? So this chemical and this thing they are segregating and finding out when you just prepare a paint to the your car, and no water will remain in your car, no dust will remain in your car. So it is the most clean chemical it generates to keep its body completely clean. Nothing will just get inside. So they are finding out a technology what type of material the leaves are synthesizing.
Yeah.
So they are finding out what is the chemical composition of that. That is a technology.
Where are the seeds?
It is in the flower. There is a thalamus. On the thalamus there are holes. You can observe that.
In the cavities.
In the cavities, yes, very right.
Sir, here at Agastya, we have created a wonderful biodiversity park where all the children will come. They can not only see the nature, but also they can see the butterflies, insects.
See, all the schools they should include in their curriculum this to gain earth experience. Send their children once a year or twice a year. They can really gain a lot of experience.